All right, let's start it. Yeah. Welcome. Another episode of the Dyke podcast. Keegs Kota out here. We got a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tragedy. His new album, Phase 1, is out. And let me tell you what.
Shit slaps.
It is a banger. Yeah. First place, baby. If you ain't first, you last. We don't play second around here.
Unless it's like your second album, maybe. Then we'll let that slide.
Man, I really like this album, especially this track right here. All right. Well, welcome, man. I appreciate you coming out today.
Appreciate you having me, man. For real.
Awesome. This is a blessing in disguise because, you know, I've been wanting to do a hip hop podcast forever, but you know, you got to have the people to do it. You got to have the right actual guests and the right audience. So I think I struck gold over here. So
yeah, you got someone out here making big waves in the hip hop community.
No,
and that's our boy here, Tragedy.
Welcome. Thank you, Dakota, for having him come out. They know each other. So again,
yes,
another blessing pulling strings over here. This guy, he's like the freaking puppet master. So yeah, and you also have your own podcast, right?
Yep, Actual Factual Podcast. Shout out to my guys, Cyrus, Dre, Jules. You know, we definitely do the little hip hop podcast on the side. We've had some crazy guests though, not just in hip hop, like Wade Coda, Calvin Jarvis from The Voice, Angelo Nano from No Limit, Brown Boy Maj, just a bunch of people. So shout out to all of them, and shout out to Keegs and Kota for having me on here, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome podcast.
Thanks for coming,
guys, man.
Thank you.
I love the setup.
Yeah, man, it changes every week, and as you guys can see, I did it again. I'm out here just constantly moving stuff around. This is the ADHD at its finest. And I tell people all the time, when you learn how to harness it, you can do some cool stuff with it. But when you don't have it harnessed, it's a nightmare. So, yeah, man, new album just came out, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, 15th of August, man. Phase 1. It's crazy. I just looked at the Spotify streaming for this, and the top 10 cities, I think like 5 of them are like Italy, like London.
I've seen you've got a lot of fans like all over the world. I was like, man, he's really out here making waves.
How you get those fans?
Internet. Literally, like I started. There's a producer that produced Phase 1, the title track, and I met him in a No Limit forum in like 2009 or something.
Yeah,
on a No Limit Forever site that I was on for like 2 days, and I met him, and his name is Kyler, but he goes by Fizz. Shout out to Fizz, and shout out to everybody in Port Simpson, Canada. And he started producing for me, man. We made a bunch of good songs together. I built a little constant fan base in Canada, and I think those people, like a lot of international people, travel throughout Europe and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what happened. And then I'm getting cool with people like that got playlists in Germany and stuff like that. So it's starting.
That's a big market.
Yeah.
I used to follow a rapper a little bit, Wax. Actually, you turned me on to him.
Wax, the dude that used to rap in his car and stuff.
Wax and Herbal Tea.
Amazing.
I got to meet him a few times and hang out with him a little bit.
Shout out to Wax, wherever you are, man. You're fucking dope. Rap again.
I think, and he's got some new music. The last
he just has something recently.
The last 6 or 8 weeks, he's put out at least 1 to 2 new tracks every Friday, and I think he's dropping a new album.
Oh shit, then that's on me. Then I gotta go check that shit out.
Yeah. He's ever since he lost EOM though, because his DJ EOM passed away a few years ago. I think it's taken him a little bit to get his feel back, because that's who produced a lot of those tracks, and we got to meet him at 3 different shows, and I remember we were kind of hanging out partying with him at one of them in the back, and this chick was wasted. She runs up and like. Him and I are talking like this, and we kind of look alike. We're both bald white guys, which we, like Asian people, we all look alike.
Right.
And the girl like runs up and splits the two of us, and she's like, "Oh my God, Wax, I love you so much. My boyfriend said I could cheat on you with you on him tonight." And she's talking to me.
No.
So he's sitting there looking over her shoulder, staring at me, and we're laughing at her because she thinks that I'm Wax, and I'm like, "Sweetheart, turn around.
You must not be that big a fan."
And she like looks at him and looks at me.
Like, I don't think my wife would be cool with this.
Yeah,
turn around.
That shit was crazy though. But he's always been super cool. He kind of punked me the last time we saw him.
What the fuck?
We were like taking pictures and whatever, and we'd been working out a lot. And my wife was looking really good. And he leaned over and he's like, "That's your girl?" And I was like, "What, bro?" And he's like, "No, man, I didn't mean it like that." Like I was like, "Bro, are you fucking with me right now? Like, are you?" He's like, "No, I was like, "Yeah, that's my girl, man. Why are you teasing me like that? You know, I didn't think I could get a little cutie like that." But he's like, "Bro, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to."
I'm just saying, you look kind of like me, and we're not that good looking.
But yeah, exactly. Like you're ugly too.
He's like,
There's
damn.
hope. There's hope.
Right, man. What am I doing?
But nah, he was cool. I met him a few times.
Yeah,
we went to a few of his
That
concerts.
fool can bust raps. Like for me, like
Man,
I think a lot of the reason why I've been using autotune and singing so much is because the rap climate is so trashy. And maybe if guys like Wax, rapped more often, or if I rapped with those type of people,
So
it'd be easier to do more shit like that.
there's a little bit of a transition going on. You got some guys coming up. But one person I wanted to ask you about, because you have kind of a similar style to right now that I'm listening to a lot of, is St. John.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I just checked out his album.
Compliment. I like St. John.
Yeah, I really like St. John. I because his new album just dropped recently too.
Yeah.
So I've been
I can
kind of
see a little bit of that similarity.
With I think that's dope. That's dope as fuck. I like St. John. I was actually just looking at I was researching this label. He's on a label called Hitco, ran by Aaron Reed, which is L.A. Reed's son.
Mm-hmm.
The old team of people over there. So yeah, man, I really fuck with St. John actually. So that's actually pretty dope, man. Yeah.
Hey man, yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I was. You got one or two on there that you're really rapping on. So that's kind of what was making me think of how you feel about guys like the Baby, Pop Smoke, guys that are actually starting to rap, the JIDs out there.
I love it, man. I love the climate. I definitely the Baby, man. Like right now, because there's like a element of hip hop that was in like I would say 2005 to like I think it probably stopped in like 2009, 2010, but it was like gangsta, you know what I mean? Like kind of kind of a little bit in your face, like I'm gonna slap you if you.
Did you see that video of him beat the dude in the Gucci store?
I heard that was staged afterward though.
Really?
Like it was.
It seems like when you watch it a little bit,
I think it ended up being staged, but either way, he's handled himself on multiple occasions.
That's marketing.
Yeah,
if it was staged, all I can say is from the video of that dude with the bloody face and his pants down.
Yeah,
that part didn't look staged.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think the incident was staged to happen in order to boost his stature in that. But that's label shit. That's not something the Baby said. Hey, let's stage this thing. I don't think he would do that. You know what I'm saying? He don't seem like.
But yeah, he had his own little situation. What was it in a Walmart?
Yeah, and that's real. You know what I'm saying? And I think the label was like, oh shit, he's really about this life. Let's kind of build off of that image because it reflects in his music and it's going to help us sell this story. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
man, there's so much behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've been realizing. I've been working with a lot of people that are actually in the label industry, and I've been seeing shit like that happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
have you been approached?
No. So I mean, I've been approached by bullshit. You know what I mean? Everybody gets approached.
Just trying to snag up your catalog real quick.
Yeah, there's been some artists some labels like, hey, you don't have to pay anything, but we're gonna do we're gonna sell your catalog basically. We'll give you 80%. I'm like, I'm already making 100% by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, why would I give you 20%?
This doesn't sound like a deal.
Right.
How many? All right, so I saw at least 4 albums on Apple, right?
Yeah,
Was it 4, 3, or 4?
I think it's. Let me see. Cosmic Therapy.
That was 2014.
2013.
13?
I think so. Cosmic Therapy. And then I did
Lights.
Light? Yeah.
Yeah, Light.
Okay, so
and then
you got
Rags.
Therapy. Then you got, is that a single?
Those
Life
are singles.
Party?
You know what? Go to
the single with the boy Eddie Piff right there.
Yeah, shout out Piff, man. Shout out Piff, Sosa, Cyrus, everybody, Dre.
Yeah, so it's showing 4.
All the plugs.
So albums, yeah. So Cosmic Therapy. No, so this is the EP below Light. That's a part that counts.
Okay, that one counts.
So that's 5.
Okay,
right
so
there.
you got 5. So my question to you was,
and 6 or 7 mixtapes.
because I put up all my stuff by myself and I pay for all my own. You know, everything's paid for by me. And obviously you're paying for all your own stuff too. So how does that work, man? Because the music part is a little confusing to me. How do you get to upload that onto Apple? How do you make money off of it? How does that work?
So basically, you gotta know your shit. So when I was going to school, I went to school for audio production and also did some music business classes. And I also just taught myself a bunch of shit just because I go to seminars and shit like that. But basically, what you do is you own the beats, right? Or you come to an agreement with the producer. and then you guys, either release the beat or whatever. But you get permission to use those beats to sell them, and then you create the song to them. Boom, you put them on these streaming services, aggregators as they call them, to get you to iTunes, Apple, whatever,
right?
And then you market them. That's it.
If there's one thing that you do better than I think anyone that we know locally, I think it's promoting and marketing. That's kind of your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I got to, man. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna actually do any numbers. I mean, and just to break it down more on how you get paid per stream, like on Apple Music, on Spotify, you get paid like pennies on the dollar for a stream.
Well, you made a couple pennies this morning from us.
Thanks.
You've been making pennies for me for the last week straight.
Hell yeah.
I've been playing it nonstop in the house.
I appreciate that, man. But the other way is like mostly is just getting like gigs. Like as an artist, it sucks because at the beginning you got to pay,
right?
But you're not paying to play. Like people get it confused. You're not playing to play. You should have people that are paying for those tickets. You're not supposed to be the one. You're supposed to have fans, people that enjoy watching you perform. Those are the people that are supposed to pay that for. So You
doing concerts, going on any tours, anything like that yet?
I've done all that. I've done a lot of concerts. I've opened for so many people. Twisted Cameron, fucking
Those
Rick
are two
Ross.
of my favorites right there. Twisted and Cameron.
Yeah, Twisted Cameron, Rick Ross, Devin the Dude, fucking everybody and their mother. You know what I'm saying? It's like eventually you got to start building up the value to where you can just perform and get paid. I've gotten paid for a couple performances, but mostly it's been getting like, say you pay the promoter what, like 150, 200. They give you like 50 tickets that are worth like 10, $15, and you sell.
So you go hustle your tickets,
yeah.
But you're also really putting something on your resume, is what you're doing.
Yeah,
trying to
a lot of the
to
time,
promote to the next person to get on the bill.
Well, for me, it was like I was selling merch, I was selling tickets, so I was making money.
Merch.
Yeah, I was making money, so it was like I would get that 150, boom, give it to the promoter. That's 10 tickets, boom. That's 10 people that are already going to come regardless. So I'm not spending any money out of my pocket. Now, after that, everything I make is money for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to realize that if you're going to continue to do this, even Lil Wayne sells tickets, but it's so automatic for Lil Wayne that he doesn't have to go around calling his friends, He
doesn't have to push his tickets.
Exactly.
They just
they
go.
sell themselves. It's Lil Wayne. So you gotta realize this is a job. You need that resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got a pretty big resume too. Like you were just talking about people you've performed for, the albums you have, the amount of streams. Catalog. Your catalog's pretty big.
I think I'm over 250,000 streams on Spotify by itself.
That's insane. I mean?
That's not SoundCloud. That's not.
So
YouTube.
They send you a check every
3 months.
Every 3 months.
Well, it depends because it's like mechanical royalties and then physical royalties. It's all complicated as hell.
Does it get pulled together, or does Spotify send you something? Apple sends you something?
So it gets pulled together because when you upload it, it was the aggregator.
Yep.
They send it to all the stores and they collect from all the stores for you too. So it's like all that stuff just goes back into your account, and then you log in one day, you got $13. Another day you get, there's 1,000 in there. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then if you register your music right with BMI, the Harry Fox agency, artists, listen to this. if you register your music right, you're gonna get random checks in the mail every 3 months or every, whenever. Like for instance, there's these blanket licenses. Like I'm with this company called Mood Music, and it's like a retailer chain. So when people are walking through certain stores, I don't know what stores in what states, but they're hearing my music in retail stores.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? And every time that happens, I get money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as an artist, it's your job to find out where you can put your music. What avenues
you gotta
are
find multiple avenues of revenue.
You know what I mean? Like you don't go to your job and just settle for one position, do you? You try to strive. You try to figure out, hey, what am I gonna do in order to advance over this person, or what do they need in different areas so I can make more money? You know what I mean?
And I think that's where a lot of these young kids, it's the same thing. Like my buddy's video went viral for saving a squirrel, right? He don't know what to do.
Right.
You don't know what to do when that happens. And that's the same thing with your song. Your song starts to catch a little traction, something you made at your house.
Right.
Your hook just is good.
It's fire.
And next thing you know, you got people that are trying to take advantage of you. And then they use these things like Lil Nas X, where they make you think that it's just some kid that's sleeping on his sister's couch,
and then one day it's
makes this
boom.
big album,
Yeah.
and that's not true. Like
Not
there's
at
a
all.
huge machine behind that.
And there was
so
a rollout.
these young kids,
Yeah.
what that allows that to do is these young kids just think, well, if I just make this song and I show it to them, that's going to happen to me. But what it's going to do is it's going to get your song stolen. It's going to you're not going to have anything from it.
Right.
That's why you got a lot of these big artists that just farm through little guys' music and try to find a new, pattern, a new melody.
But that's their own fault, man. There's so
But
many.
that's why I ask you these questions, because they don't know.
I take the opposite stance. I'm like, bro, if you're a young kid right now, you have more advantage than anyone who's ever lived. You got technology. You know how to use it by the time you're 8 or 9. So you should be seeing these self-help seminars for these, local musicians. There's people literally saying, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to monetize your music. I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. Why wouldn't you
people
listen?
are lazy, dude.
Exactly.
We got the whole era right now of SoundCloud rappers, and there's too many people that they think they can just throw their music on SoundCloud and just kick back and smoke a blunt and wait until someone picks them up or something happens. But what happens? They get their shit stolen. But they don't have the rights to their stuff. They don't it's even.
Harder than that too.
And that's the thing. I've put music up on SoundCloud. That's what you've been so successful with, is like just promoting, marketing. Like you said, you found different outlets to push your music to, and for you to get paid to do it instead of waiting for some dude to be like, "Hey, I heard you on SoundCloud. Out of you and 5 million other people, I happen to come across you." Like that's a huge roll of a dice.
No, nobody cares. I'm gonna tell artists and everyone in general just to know, these labels are not looking for talent. They're looking for someone who's already moving the needle, someone that has fans, someone they can monetize right now,
someone they don't have to work real hard at to make them money.
Right,
exactly.
That's what I was explaining about this the other day. I said, somebody would love to come in eventually and take this and say, hey, we'll pay you to do this and we'll put you in a studio because I figured out a way to create this.
Right.
They can't do that. They can move the needle once it's already has a direction to go in. Yes. But when it starts, they don't have that spark. They don't have what I have that sits in this room and I stare at a wall for 5 minutes and I go, yeah, this needs to change and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. That doesn't work. Right. I mean, dude, there's so many little things. This thing's changed every single week.
Yeah.
But they don't have that. They don't have that feeling of somebody that needs it, wants it, has the hunger. And then if you get lucky enough to have, the drive to push it, that's a big thing. And dude, monetizing your page is a big deal.
Yeah. You gotta, that gotta be the goal. I mean, you gotta do it for the love. That's first and foremost. That's the reason why you should be even doing it in the first place.
Because you enjoy it.
Right. But at a certain point in time, if you want this to replace your job, then you got to start treating it like it's a job. And
what about music videos? You doing those?
That's been tough, man. So recently,
you haven't done one in a while, huh?
I shot a video that froze out, and me and the videographer, we just got into a falling out of some sort. I don't know what happened, but I still haven't gotten my footage from the dude. And I ain't gonna put him on blast, say his name or nothing like that. But I'm trying to get that footage. I got a couple videos scheduled to shoot. I'm gonna shoot a video for Smoke just because.
That's kind of like the catchiest. Like everyone, that's the first one they hear. They're like, okay, all right, I can see where he's coming on.
They want the Smoke video, and so
they don't want the smoke.
I'm gonna do a.
They don't want the smoke.
I'm gonna do a phase 1 video too. I think I owe that to Fizz because he's been rocking with me since I was terrible. You know what I mean? Like,
so you hear that, everybody? It takes practice on that too. You're not just gonna come out.
I mean, don't get it twisted. I've always been a crazy freestyler. Like that's what got me. When people when I was a kid, people were like, "Yo, rap," and I would rap, and people would be like, "I told you, I told this little nigga could rap." You know what I mean? And so that just stuck in my head, and I just got so confident with it. So I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna write songs." You know what I mean? Like I know I can rap, but I'm gonna write music. You know what I mean? And so I started doing that, and I was like.
Well, I'm glad you're waiting until you're getting bigger to actually start rapping, because that's my favorite part about you is I know you can rap.
So
I'm like this.
I have
I'm like this
6 or
motherfucker
7
can rap.
mixtapes of me just purely rapping my ass off. Mm-hmm. It's all out there. It's like I rapped for so long that I got bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where took a little bit different avenue.
What platforms?
Dat Piff. You can go on Dat Piff. Search.
I'll share a couple of those on the page.
Yeah,
because I'm on Dat Piff.
Tragedy 2012 is a great starting point for me. That's probably the best mixtape I've ever done. Death is Promise is pretty close. I got 6 or 7 mixtapes of just pure rapping, no auto-tune whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and check them out.
Yeah, if you listen to Rax too, I use there's 2 auto-tune songs on Rax. You know what I mean? I got V the Ruler on that album too, and I think Jen Ben.
What got you into this, man?
Into what?
Into rap.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Obviously, we all love the music, but what made you think, or who was the first one? Because like for me, it was a dude sitting. Exhibit track, I want to say it was like 14 or 13 on his album, and we sat it on replay all night and we freestyled, and I'd never freestyled, and it was probably some of the worst shit you ever heard in your life, but that's how it started. And then that kid died, and I was just like, I'm gonna keep rapping, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And
I'm gonna honestly keep it a buck. I don't remember. But you know what, I think the first time I really decided that I was gonna do it as a career, it was probably because of 50 Cent and Unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. That's right. And like in your most influential part of your childhood for your like age
That's
group,
when I
you know?
was like fucking 7 or 8 years old, you know? And that shit was so good.
You'll have to
Get Rich or Die Trying, like Lloyd Banks' freestyle, like
bro.
Banks is like
Here.
the GOAT, dog. Like people don't understand. Multi-syllable fabulous too.
Fab.
Bro, multi-syllable rappers are always.
So this is a playlist I made just on. It's on Apple
What
Music.
Up, Gangsta,
it's
On Fire,
G-Unit.
Lloyd Banks, Let Me In. Like these are it. This is what.
Bro,
did
the
it.
old
He's not even in that
mixtapes,
playlist.
like, because they made the mixtapes back in the day. They're the ones that really started that.
50 Cent, man.
Bro, How to Rob.
Hey, you know,
when How to Rob came out.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 50 Cent does not get enough credit for his musical abilities.
What about Lloyd Banks porno?
Only
star?
his hustle.
Oh, the Lloyd Banks porno star, Victory Freestyle. That like.
I think I have the Victory freestyle on here
That
too.
shit is stupid, man. That shit's stupid.
You trying to get us pulled from YouTube,
and
bro?
honestly, when I first heard 50 Cent, guess who was my favorite rapper? Fucking Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
Oh, it was all of ours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When 50 Cent came out, Ja Rule was on top of the world, bro.
Yep.
And he had that Rule 316. That shit was boy.
He did have some bangers.
It was the best, dude. You couldn't. And that's the other thing I think a lot of people forget how great Ja Rule was. Like before,
You know why they forgot? Because 50 Cent, nigga, he smashed the
He came in and just completely humiliated him from top to bottom.
And then what he did that made it like a nail in the coffin is he involved Eminem. Once
It was over.
Eminem,
It was over.
Nobody's gonna fuck with you
and the
ever
game
again.
too. That's everyone was big on the game back then too.
Yeah.
Like shortly
I
after
mean,
that.
they got Busta Rhymes on a Ja Rule diss track, so it was like they made sure that it was all.
So growing up, I didn't even get all 20, but just some of my top 20 favorite rappers and growing up was like Eminem, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, and the Lox. 50 and G-Unit, DMX, Redman, Method Man, Tip, Outkast, Joel Santana.
You're messing it up for me. You're just saying all the same shit I'm about to say.
I know. That's why I kind of knew it. Talib Kweli, Kanye, Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. That's another one.
Murphy fucking Lee.
Murphy Lee.
Come on.
Even Keywan was out there killing it, bro. That's why Air Force, man. That's why I got all them Air Forces.
Yeah, but Murphy Lee was definitely the best rapper out of those people.
Yep.
Nelly is second, but Murphy Lee can Nelly could make a better song. He was a better artist.
I had Murph's album.
Yeah, me too.
I had Murph's album.
Nelly definitely had a lot more white chicks rapping though.
I mean, Nelly was a hit maker. There's a difference between a good rapper and a hit maker.
I remember when like all the No Limit albums started coming out because we all bought CDs. So my first CD that was hip hop or R&B was Mary J. Blige. It was her. It was way back in the day. I got it at like
that CD.
That was a great. It was
shout out to Mama Duke. She used to blam that Mary J. I know every word on that.
That was a great album. And then
those are bangers.
My first tape was Coolio. My grandfather bought that when I was little. We didn't even have CDs yet. I got Coolio's tape.
On tape.
And then it just kind of progressed from there. But I had all the No Limit. And at that point, I was a kid, so I think it was more about the cases because they were that like hard plastic in different colors. So you get like a full blue CD case.
Yeah.
Like it was like a solid plastic. It wasn't like the clear,
right.
Master P was like, no, we're going to make ours look different. And I had all of those Mystical. I went Snoop signed over there. The game is to be sold, not told.
Yeah.
The game is to be sold, not told. That was
the Snoop No Limit shit was tight.
Have you listened to Snoop's new album?
No,
I haven't listened to it yet.
There's a couple on there that the beats.
Though the Snoop,
like Swiss
did
did
Snoop still
one.
write his own music? I think he stopped writing his music
I don't
around
know. It
Sensual
sounds
Seduction.
good though. It sounded
I'm
good.
always going to jam Snoop Dogg just because my family priority.
Who's the other one?
Gold
Link.
I've
been listening to a lot of Gold Link lately.
Gold Link is tight, man. So I heard about Gold Link. Was Double XL, like artist to watch, like 7 years ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I started jamming his songs and stuff. He's cool. He's definitely good.
I'm trying to think of who else I've been.
Lately, man.
Rowdy Rich. I've been listening to a little bit of Rowdy Rich.
He's been growing on me. A lot of people compare me to him lately, so I'm like, let me check this dude out. And then I checked him out, and I actually fucked with his music.
Legit. He's definitely legit.
I'm definitely not
I can see that comparison a little bit.
I can see it in sort of like the melody style, but we're not. He's talking about more gangster shit than I'm talking about.
What do you feel about Kevin Gates?
I like Kevin Gates.
You like Gates, or you don't like the weird shit he be saying?
You know what?
Because he gets weird.
When he got away from talking about eating booty so much on his mixtape.
That ain't even a problem.
I got to keep it 100% real. Not really.
Do you just not like the music?
The music is fun.
I like the music.
I like the music. I think the music is good. I think the personality and the person
it is weird.
It's not that I don't like him or something. It's just that it never grabbed me. I just feel like as an artist, I would be more grateful for the position I'm in that it appears that he is. But he's very humble and spiritual, so I can't say nothing against him, man. He's getting his bread. You know what I mean?
Moneybagg Yo.
Moneybagg Yo. I don't really listen to I'm gonna be real. I don't really listen to anything that's really like I'm gonna kill, I'm gonna steal, you know what I mean? That's not really my angle.
Yeah. Not the wheelhouse.
He's got a little bit of both on that.
I got to branch out. See,
he's got some of that.
Judging off the most mainstream shit, like if I see you waving around guns in your video, I'm probably not gonna listen to your music. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
I listen to Tory Lanez, Travis Scott, Drake.
Hey, one thing that you guys...
What about, you listen to Crit's new album?
Big Crit.
The new
it's pretty
album,
good. I'm just gonna tell you right now, that's probably one of my picks for the year.
I think
for
Big
my favorite
Crit
album
is super
of the
underrated. Super underrated. So I'm gonna go.
I wouldn't put it that high up, but I do like
that
it.
song Mississippi on there. That's got like the big dum 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 big basses and stuff like that.
I just been trying to not listen to a lot of popular music because I feel like I'm already using autotune. So I don't want to get any other elements of anybody else's shit in my music.
Right.
Because I'm constantly making music. I literally was writing hooks before I came here. You know what I mean?
You know what I saw that was interesting? Andy Mineo. Is that how you say his name? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
He's got this new, they put an album out, and it's actually his buddy brought him on a podcast and was like, this is the only way I could get him to put out all this extra music he's got sitting in files on his computer is by bringing him on the podcast because he doesn't want to put these on an album together. Right. So he does the track. He did all the raw track file names and stuff on the album. It's kind of cool because the intro is the podcast piece, and then it goes into 2 songs, and another little podcast clip, and a couple of songs. And I thought it was a really cool take, a raw take on him just releasing music that he felt didn't fit together or fit on an album that he already has.
So I like a lot of stuff like that. Run the Jewels too. That's not something I typically would get
into. I love Run the
into.
Jewels.
But you start listening to it, and all of a sudden you're like, I forget how much I like Killer Mike.
I love Killer Mike.
Is stupid, man. And
love Killer Mike.
What's funny? It's crazy that you said Killer Mike's name because in my mind I was just thinking about David Banner for some reason.
Oh yeah, they do kind of have that cross.
They're the same, bro. They're the same nigga. They're trying to save the world, but for black people exclusively.
But Banner,
they're huge in the black
community.
community.
He makes some beats that
David Banner is a legend, bro.
Yeah,
I can't. David Banner was another huge inspiration for me because even before he converted to being all nice and I'm gonna help the black community.
Oh yeah, he was a scary dude.
Monster. I used to listen to. I had a David Banner signed poster in my room because I lived in a foster home at the time when David Banner was huge, and the foster sisters I was staying with, I was just jamming that Mississippi album. That's all I would ever play in my room. They're like, yo, we went to the David Banner concert because I kind of got them on David Banner. And they went to it because they thought he was sexy. So they went to a show to see him and shit. And they got a signed poster for me. I was like, yo.
That's legit.
Yeah. And so I was listening to a bunch of Young Buck at the time. So it's there's a song on Young Buck's
That's another
first
dude
album.
that they don't really give a lot of credit because he wrote a lot of 50 stuff too.
I don't know if he wrote any of 50 stuff. But
he did.
What?
He did. There's been hooks and there's been
maybe
they've
some
admitted
hooks, maybe
the hooks, and there's been a couple verses that he's even said listen to the verse. That ain't 50.
I don't know. Hey, but
it wasn't as popular.
Even if he did though.
Hey, it happens. I mean, dude, most of 50s, Game's first album was 50s.
Right, exactly.
That was supposed to be Get Rich or Die Trying too.
And that's why it's hard for me to believe that because 50 Cent at the time, you got to understand how fucking of a good homie you have to be to do what 50 Cent did for those men.
They made a lot of money. He made a lot of money off of them.
He made a lot of money off of them, but those fools would have been working at Burger King, all of them.
I remember the peak of 50 Cent.
First
that shit was
concert
wild.
I ever went to. You ready? The first concert Tony Yayo put on out of jail.
Jesus Christ. That's
Maine.
lit, dude.
In Maine.
That's lit.
I was there, bro, and it was so weird because I'd never been to a concert before, so I went to the Predicate Felon first out of jail concert that he had.
That's legendary shit.
It was pretty wild, man. It was a cool concert.
And, I thought it was cool
tight, though.
when I went to a Cameron. I opened for Cameron. That was the highlight of my shit.
I wasn't on stage, bro. I didn't get up. I wasn't opening with him. And
still.
Welcome home, Tony Yayo. Hey.
Hey, but no. Hey, when at that time, bro, I was like I had unit shoes. I had a stupid little wife beater that 50 Cent wore.
Was this like the peak? Was this like the peak of 50 Cent too?
There was nothing stupid about that white beater.
It looked stupid on me.
I like that. Well, yeah,
it only looked good on 50 Cent.
You
dog.
need to be buff to wear that.
Oh, he was yoked too.
I was a little kid.
Yeah, he was on some steroids, bro. There's no way he wasn't.
Yeah, no, for
bro,
sure.
Walk me through this one, cause I love this beat. So.
Oh, shout out to Sincerely Collins for sure first. And then shout out to Cyrus because he actually made the beat. I mean, that's probably the most.
Oh, Cyrus made this beat?
Yeah, Cyrus gets down.
Nice.
So Sincerely Collins, that's a big name.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He was like one of my favorite rappers out of Arizona, like just past like a couple years.
He's actually good at rapping, man. And it's like, he's actually from Arizona too. It's nuts.
Right? His Throw the Flag where he's got the Phoenix Cardinals shirts on. I love that. He got a video with this Phoenix Cardinals.
Being too. If y'all don't really follow Sincerely Collins, like I follow this man on Instagram and stuff. He's always at charity events, always helping out with somebody little kid die or something happens. He used to have a benefit concert with a bunch of no-namers. You know what I mean? Like that's who this guy is.
That's big.
So that's why I worked with him because it's not only just about music, it's also about like doing shit in Arizona because this is a community that nobody really gives a fuck about.
Y'all need to submit this to the Cardinals and get them to put it on.
I like
commercial.
Hey,
right?
Honestly, that's what I'm working on right now. And my homegirl 17, she was always like, yo, you got to get this songs to the Suns, songs to the Cardinals, and she's right.
Hey, and you know what? I love this track too because you rap in this track more than you do like on the rest of the album. You actually rap on here. I'm like, oh,
and I apologize.
He needs to do more of this. I'm waiting for the next one.
I listen to nothing but singing music, so that's where I'm at.
I'm R&B.
No, that's fine.
Hey, I'm still trying to get all the way through Chris Brown's new album because
it's
57,000
it's like 27 tracks or some
more
shit.
Than 27. It's like 40.
Since it's breezy, I'm gonna listen to all of them.
I do, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's I grew up on that stuff. Earth, Wind and Fire in the house. Like we grew up with all the R&B in the house.
That's right.
He's throwing it back.
So that's to me, I like what you're doing.
Yeah,
I like that.
But I'm a rapper, bro. Like literally, I got like people don't understand, man.
Yeah, but when the climate changes, if you can't change with the climate,
exactly,
you can. That's why Joe Budden retired. He'll tell you right now
because he couldn't change with the climate.
But now look at the climate.
Honestly,
and he's even saying it because now the climate has shifted and the emo, depression, feel sorry for me rap is so in. And he wrote the book on that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like NF. He's got that. That's that type of like,
bro,
he's like emo rap.
Old mood music mixtape.
Mood music 1 through 4, dog. Even 4.5.
Rap, bro.
Budden's stupid. Budden's in my top 10, top 15 ever.
That's why when everybody was lighting it up, I mean, I know top 3 was probably a little
top
high
3 is crazy,
on the list, but it was so funny to have the podcast have him, talking about being top 3, not 1 or 2.
Not 1 or 2.
But you know what's crazy? On all the lists that I seen from my homies, Joe Budden was in that top 10, baby. And
he should be.
Yeah.
I know. Like Dre's huge on him too.
Yeah, because that's our school. That's where we're from. You know what I mean? Dre's my best friend. Me and Dre, we're like the same person.
Oh yeah,
grew up out here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from New Hampshire.
Dre's from Romania, but when he came here, I was the first person he met that spoke like English. He didn't speak English that well, and we clicked up, and we were huge. We were those kids that listened to Tupac, 50 Cent, and Eminem. You know what I mean? That's who we were.
Bro, I got Eminem. I got a book around here somewhere of like his first album or 2 albums, and it's like a hardcover book of all the lyrics in the book, and it's like an actual published book, and I have it somewhere in this house. I was so upset. I had the bleached hair. Memorized all the albums.
I had the bleached hair like 6 months ago.
Did we just become best friends? What's going on over here?
We're pretty similar, dog. I ain't
Remember when we used to take the CD cover out and like read the lyrics? You'd be rapping along with it.
That was one of the best ones to take apart.
The first time I did that, I think it was Lil Wayne, the Carter. And that the one where he's in front of I think it's a Carter 2 maybe.
It's Carter 2 in front of the Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you open it up, bro. That shit's crazy. That's just a book. That shit's tight.
It's funny you say that because I literally was thinking about that this morning when I was like, we're gonna have a discussion of what some of my biggest albums, most important albums to me, and that one is right up there in like my top 5.
It has to be. That one is top 3 for me.
Now when I came out here when I was 15 and I came to visit the Grand Canyon and we went and did it, I took 500 degrees. Yeah. And I walked around the Grand Canyon for 2 days. I just walked, and all I listened to, I had a Discman at the time. That's how long ago it was, and I had 500 degrees, and I still have the CD in the other room. And that's how I listen to that over and over. So when I hear that whole like, Manny Fresh is another underrated
crazy.
producer.
Manny Fresh is one of the best.
His flowers,
no,
bro. He needs his flowers, bro.
Manny Fresh needs a motherfucking orchard.
Yeah,
yo,
bro.
Manny
I was
Fresh
listening to
is off the
some big
chains.
timers, and when I wanted to bring this up with you the other day, like when I was thinking about making my list, I'm so into rap that I didn't want to put stuff like the big timers because like
it's kind of
it's
iffy.
just music.
But
it's not a rap.
But
to
at
me,
the end of the day, that was a huge era though.
Oh my god,
that was a lifestyle. Big timers. Yeah.
Oh.
Gator Boo with a pimped out Gucci
suit.
with the Gucci suits.
Oh.
You know what I mean,
dude?
Like,
that shit.
You serious?
I just
that shit
remember
was
going to,
that shit was
women
super
homes
hot.
and bumping
bro.
that parties. See, where I'm from, like people didn't really listen to that music, so I would make these CDs and I would put them all together, and I would 2-3 years later we'd be riding in a car and say, oh, you ever heard this? And I'd be like,
Bruh, I
that's
put
my
you on to
CD.
this.
You're like, hey,
That's my
you're like,
CD.
what's the next track
they would
on
steal
here?
the CDs from the parties because I would make like legit CDs and I'd write on them like this party, whatever.
Yeah.
And I would like be in a car and people would be like, you ever heard this? And I'd be like, bro, that's my CD. Like I made that for this party.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
you're like, I already know what the next 4 tracks in a row are because I'm the one who fucking made that track list, and there's a reason I put them in that order.
I didn't fit in New Hampshire, bro. Like they loved me, but
still don't.
I didn't fit in back there. Like the music and everything we listened to just was different. I mean, and I was into the real stuff. Like I was into all the Dipset stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
When I was
12,
12, I was begging my parents for Christmas presents.
I used to get in trouble for the Dipset shit because my family's cripped out. I used to get in trouble for the Dipset shit.
They didn't like that, huh?
No, I hated that shit, but I fucking didn't care. I was like, yo, I ain't no blood, but I'm finna rock this shit.
Oh man, when Cameron came out rocking
Music's
pink,
music.
Yeah,
you a businessman when all the Ebola shit going down and you make a face mask with your face on the mask and sell it and people buy it.
Right.
Like, he made some money off those masks.
Hey, that fool has capes out and shit, man.
Such a hustler, bro.
Yeah, he's a revolutionary when it comes to like fashion and hustling. Oh, Cam all day, man.
So what's the plans for you, man? You just dropped this new album. Are you gonna go on a run? What are you doing? Are you got any shows you're gonna do?
Man, it's
I know
tough.
you got some merch, right?
Yeah. No, I actually just bought some trucker hats, some beanies, and some. I'm getting them embroidered right now with the logos and stuff. So we're gonna do the merch run. Do I have a show coming up?
Sounds like something you should know.
You let me know, man. I'll help promote it.
I don't know. You didn't know your schedule this morning, what you had going on Sunday. So
That's
who
so
knows?
true.
You don't know what your tours are.
I'm getting to a point where it's all meshing together, man, and I just want to just be able to focus on one shit. But you know what?
Stay busy.
I'm blessed to be able to have a job. You know what I'm saying? I work at the dispensary, so it's not like it's a big deal. But
It's cool though because like, bro, we used to have to hide in the bushes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to
I love
stand
it.
at a
And now
counter
he's
and you
working
can
in the
actually.
bushes.
You got an 80-year-old lady coming in to buy some stuff, and you can talk to her and explain to her what. On top of the kids and
Exactly.
guys that are just coming in to get some weed.
no, it's mostly 80-year-old ladies, to be real.
I know
do
it
you
is.
get
Mostly
people
old
coming in
people.
there
I know.
recognizing you at all?
Oh,
Like, hey,
every day, bro. It's crazy.
Do you?
It's nuts. Yeah. It's
Nice.
honestly it's a blessing. I get messages actually like, "Is this you?" And they're like, "Send me a picture of myself working." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." They're like,
At least it's not bad though. Like if you were working
Hey.
at like a restaurant or something, it'd
It
be
would be
kind of
so
embarrassing.
horrible.
But that is like,
it's cool.
Yeah, bro, I'm at the
Yeah.
weed
They're
spot.
like, yeah, especially the younger
Everybody
crowd.
know that I've been having the weed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's legal. 2 years in, come see us at Metro Men's Dispensary. We'll hook you up.
Right over by Metro Center.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's crazy?
Isn't that the one that got robbed a few years ago? Or
Yeah, we got robbed. These fucking dummies, man. I'll tell you, this is the funniest shit in the world. So at my job, we have these sample jars, this fucking dry ass sample weed that we have out there every day, just because we want to show you what the strain looks like and what
Right.
it smells like and shit. And it's not like we don't sell that shit, just samples. All these fools took with samples. There's hundreds of dollars worth of product all over the walls and shit. All these fools took with the dry ass samples. Didn't even take as much as they could of the samples, and then still got caught.
and they
Oh
got
my
caught.
God.
Dog, they got caught.
It's because the weed was so dry, it was leaving
Yeah,
like
it was like-
breadcrumb trails.
They're like
behind.
technically-
fucking busted them.
They're like, technically it's
Hansel
free
and Gretel.
samples. So did we really steal it? They're free samples,
Right,
right?
We stole this free shit,
Well,
bro.
it's not free. We ain't selling it. It's just examples.
Oh, yeah.
It's our property.
They don't get to smoke it, sample it.
Whatever.
They just get to
though,
check it
it's
out.
not- for me, it was like whatever. That people gonna try to do stupid shit and they're gonna get stupid surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? You
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, man.
Republican shit.
It's funny because like I think that one of my things is I think that the government's probably just waiting for every state to figure out their rules, because that's the only. Because it's kind of like alcohol. If you go to Delaware, the laws and how you go buy alcohol,
right, it's different.
So I think it's gonna go that same way with weed.
Yeah, but they didn't. When Prohibition happened, they didn't wait till all 50 states made up their mind on their alcohol laws. They were just like, all right, it's legal now. You guys figure your shit out.
Yeah, that's what's happening with hemp right now too.
Yeah,
but like, see, it's alcohol is different, because alcohol you're basically just making alcohol. That's when you talk about what he's talking about. There's a big difference with just having weed to smoke and then having things that you can create.
Hemp for plastics and textiles.
That's a whole different industry.
Other people's money.
So that's what I'm saying is they're really treading lightly.
That's the whole reason that shit got shut down to begin with.
Of course. They're like, hey, listen, dude, I run this plastic and paper company, and you guys would fucking put me out of business immediately.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened way back in the day when like DuPont and the loggers and shit did that.
It was the logger. It was a big guy that owned a lot of property with a lot of trees, and the way they did things were different back then.
Well, and DuPont was making carpets.
Fuel's the same thing, dude. You're gonna be able to look when you start fucking with fuel, the loggers. You start messing with. There's so many different things that you're touching.
I think it should be fucked with, though. It should be fucked with.
Well,
I'll put it like this:
it sucks that
we're destroying the planet just so people can make money.
It's true.
That's it. There's really no other way around it.
They're saying that they think that Amazon shit was purpose.
Oh, of course it was. There's some Native American or some indigenous tribe that just won
that
Native Amazonian.
Saw that too. Oh yeah, you want to protect it? Okay.
Share everything America to me, nigga.
But I've heard a lot.
Get to court to protect this fire ass. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of mixed stuff on that though, because I heard like what we're saying, like the Native Amazonians that someone lit on fire because they won that big like court case to save like 500,000 acres. I've also heard it was a control burn. Some people were saying it was a control burn. That's the problem though with all the mixed media and all the shit. Like us being over here on the other side of the world, like we don't fucking know what's going on.
You know how that group wanted to raid the Area 51 or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Well, they keep saying that there's
when's that supposed to be? Like November?
September. They say that there's all these like areas that people lived in the Amazon, but you can't get to them because it's so dense and so thick. I'll get you in there.
Right.
Let me light this shit on fire real quick. We'll get that cleared out real quick for you. We'll be moved in a week.
That's true.
That was just some bullshit.
A lot of times they say people burn that, like farmers burn it to like do agriculture and shit.
Well, when you hear, I listened to a podcast that talked about it, is that soil in there, they couldn't grow stuff, and they created this like special kind of soil that they mixed stuff together, and when they did, it grew like crazy, right? So when smallpox and all the other shit happened to hit that area, and they all had to evacuate where they were in the Amazon, which like 7 million people were living, they think that because that soil and all that shit was in there, if you've ever seen ivy grow, that shit is fucking insane. Mix that shit with some super soil, and now you got vines and because that's what it is. That's the only way you're getting in there. The only way they know that those structures are in there is LiDAR. Is that laser?
That laser X-ray shit.
Cross the threshold into some next level shit.
Got the NASA shirt on just in case today, bro. We going to space.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about aliens?
I feel like we're just a little experiment.
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
No, that's it.
Yeah, we're good experiments.
Hey, I got
awesome experiments.
I got a question. Did hip hop heads create anime? Or does anime create hip hop heads? Why is there such a hard crossover with like anime and hip hop heads?
And whoever it was doing karate at the same time.
So listen, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I got like 3 or 4 anime tattoos.
I know you're huge on anime, and every like other than like Keegan, every like hip hop head and especially black dudes love anime, and I'm like, what?
You don't know
what is? I'm like, what is?
Did I not tell you what I'm gonna be for Halloween? One Punch Man.
Oh shit!
Oh my god! He fucking looks like One Punch Man.
Oh my god! Oh, Saitama in the building, y'all! Shout out to One Studios.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna do it. One Punch Man.
One Studios. Yeah, this is your guy for the live action.
Oh my god! You fucking
I'm built
you
just
straight
like
look
him,
like
dude,
him.
I look like him. That's what I was saying.
That's crazy.
So the correlation to me is because when you're a hip hop artist or a hip hop head, you have this very crazy imagination. And you know what I mean?
And that helps spark that imagination.
And like when you're writing rap and when you're tuned into that frequency, you're a very, very, very sucker for storylines. Animes have such cruel, beautiful, fucking twisted storylines. I'm gonna write an anime before it's all said and done. Like that's a bucket list.
I remember sitting in my backyard.
I don't know how you do that?
It's easy, bro. Writing raps is 15, 20 minutes. That's why I've been switching to melody because it's harder. I can't sing. You know what I mean? So I've been fighting my way through that. And
how did you transition from freestyles to writing though? Because that's where I always struggled. Where I could sit there and freestyle for an hour straight, and then when I would sit down and try to write, it was like constant contradiction.
It was too nice. The freestyle was too good. I was like, I don't want this to go away and never be able to remember it again. You know,
that's what I hate.
So it's like
even if there's 15 bars of shit and you got 12 bars of good.
Yeah, for me though, when I can know, like when I start off a freestyle, I always the way I freestyle is I think of the first 2 lines instantly and be like, okay, that's hard as fuck. I know I'll be able to build off of that ending word. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I was like, let me not engage it. Let me just keep it there and then write it down. And then keep going from there. And then I'll listen to it. I'll say it. I'm like, you know what sound dope after that? It's just like a natural thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, when you're fucking like next line comes, you're like, oh shit, this would sound dope. Or if you think of like, I don't know, it's just like
oh, you know, you're getting excited for the next one. You know what it's
going to be. You're painting a picture. You're building something.
I'm tapped into like an infinite well of knowledge. Sometimes I write a verse in 15 minutes and I'll listen to it and be like, fuck, that correlates with that and that correlates with that. And I wasn't trying to do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think it's just repetition. You know what I mean? I just started writing so many songs. And I had nothing to do. I was in a foster home. I didn't know any of the people I was living with. It was like, I had to get used to being around them, you know?
What do they say? The masters failed like more times than the student ever will. Like it's kind of that same line. The masters
failed more than the student will ever try.
Yeah, that's along the same lines. You keep doing it.
There we go.
It's same thing. The reason I started this podcast was because I was nervous to get up and do stand up. Not nervous, but like I wanted to have a comfort level that
you're smart.
Showed...
You're getting yourself used to being on camera, getting yourself used to being in a pressurized moment.
Like, I know I can do it, and the whole rap thing for me is when I finally started to figure out how to structure everything and how to actually do it. I was 31, and I was like, no, we're done. 31 years old, you're white, you've got no...
You're white. That doesn't matter.
You look like One Punch Man.
Do not let your race factor into your decision to rap.
No, it does. In a climate where most of the music's gobbled up by people that are 15 to 20, they don't want to listen to a 30-year-old period, let alone being somebody that's...
Being white is an advantage in hip-hop right now. Look at NF. Look at G-Eazy. Look at MGK.
Yeah, but that's because they have a machine behind it.
Look at Token.
Again, machine.
Token was nobody.
No, there's a machine
Token is the machine itself.
No, that's not true.
Now there is.
I don't believe that.
So Token was just a kid rapping until he did this No Sucker MCs contest from Kato, the producer that used to work with Funk Volume and stuff. I watched this all happen. I watched Jordan Lucas do the same exact thing. It's literally a lane you can come up in. This like little grunge hip hop.
But how old were they?
Pretty young.
I remember seeing MGK on Sucker Free Sunday.
At this point, I don't have time to put that type of effort
I get it.
To grind it. And I love the music.
You understand
so I found
what
a
goes
different
into
avenue
it.
for it.
But it's not like you're just saying I can't do it without any prior knowledge of what goes into it.
Oh yeah, no, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
You just understand that the effort and shit that it takes, you're not willing to do that right now.
It's a dead end for my situation.
Dude, I have to piss so bad.
Take a break.
Yeah, let's do that.
Go for it.
I'm like, I try to hold it for the last 20 minutes, but I'm like, I'm going to reproduce that beat.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, this shit's fire.
A little, little guitar vibes for him.
Kind of just had to slow it down a little bit on that.
I remember when I first figured out I could use guitars, like in my beat, and it didn't sound wonky. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
That's like an Australian slang word right there, wonky.
Wonky.
I like that shit.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the wonky.
I love it.
All these wankers love wonky.
So you never really did this, huh? You didn't really sing before. Because that's new.
Yeah, so new. And people think it's like, I'm happy that it's established as my style, you know what I mean? But it's like, go listen to Rags. Go listen to everything before that, bro. I go to my Instagram. All the videos of me on Instagram rapping, bro, I'm rapping. But it's like, I gotta be able, this is my shit. This is my heart's at, you know what I mean?
I love shit like this. It's all good to act tough, but when you do stuff like this, it's hard to fake this.
Yeah, everybody can listen to this shit.
Oh, and you got the shirt on too.
Yeah.
Word.
Shout out Christian Stroop. He said, hey, you got my boy in there.
Yes, sir. Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're going. Here, I'm gonna jump in.
Are we about to videoception right now?
Let's get it.
Yeah, so I love this song. I was listening. There's a couple on here that.
Yeah, this album, Hopeless Romantic. If you haven't gotten Hopeless Romantic or even just stream it, this is like, I feel like it's my best work. Phase 1 is good. Phase 1 is probably even better.
So you dropped 2 this year.
I'm wearing a Hopeless Romantic shirt. Yeah,
I feel like Hopeless Romantic is like where you really started to refine as far as like your singing, your autotune and stuff goes. Because I wasn't like a big fan of like the whole autotune stuff you did, and I feel like Hopeless Romantic kind of changed my mind on that a little bit. Like, I feel like it definitely got refined on that.
That's what Hopeless Romantic was meant to do. I mean, like, when it comes down to it, Hopeless Romantic was to show people I'm for real about the singing shit. Like, this is my life. This is what I love. I'm gonna make it sound good. I promise.
Like we said, the master fails more times than the student ever tries.
Exactly, bro. And then once I stop doing this autotune shit and I start rapping again, people will understand. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all can't hear this right now on the live, but when you catch the podcast, you're gonna hear the music. We're playing music today. We ain't gonna get arrested. We ain't getting kicked off. No Facebook
we ain't getting
jail,
taken off of YouTube.
No YouTube jail.
We do own the rights.
We
to this
got
music,
the guy that owns the rights.
So,
we did it right. The headphones.
And he did it right because he owns his own rights.
Dude, this music slaps so hard the headphones jumped right off my face and split my nose wide open. This shit cracks. Cracked my nose.
No one else was here for that. That shit was
this
the best.
This ain't even a UFC fight podcast honestly, that we normally do.
I think you should put that audio from the incident in the podcast. But that shit was so
you're right.
Funny.
So we got it on audio, me getting my face cracked by the headphones. We were playing his music in here, and I was like, bam, just smoked me right in the face. So I stopped bleeding. It literally split my nose open pretty good. So yeah, this music's good. Jump right out the speaker and crack you in your dome. But we listen to, let's see what we listening to right now. This is Slow Down by Tragedy. But he's in here. We're promoting the Hopeless Romantic album. We're promoting Phase 1. We're promoting him in general because the guy's great. He's a good guy. He seems to know his shit, so you know that fits what I'm looking for in somebody that comes on the show. So yeah, so we got Dakota in here again, and we got Tragedy over here. It's so far so good, man. We're about an hour in, so make sure you guys are paying attention. We're gonna have this uploaded. Hopefully, I'll have the audio up tonight. I'll have the video up tomorrow, and get with it. That's what we're doing.
You did some videoception. Is that what's going on here?
Yep, you know I'm gonna go live on my shit.
There you go.
All the hunters my way. Big bones to be busting the safe. Niggas talk but got nothing to say. I'm investing all the money I made. Double the money each day.
Yeah.
You ain't fucking with me. Phoenix suns, I'm 100 degrees. Leave the tongue when it come to the trees. She gets sprung when it come to the D. Beef gets on and they running at me. Cause I get it done on the beat. Yeah, I get it done in the streets. D-way, bitch, I run with the heat. Each day, like I'm up on the beach, I'm up on the wave. My shit don't got no reception in here.
Too many electronics in here.
Oh man, you can get the Wi-Fi. You want the Wi-Fi?
No, it's all good. I think it's working.
I was gonna say, give me.
Yeah, we're on the Bernie Dyke podcast, getting it in. Supposed to be at work. Sorry, y'all. But you know, we gotta make it do what it do. You know. We about to jump back into this podcast. You probably won't be able to hear any of the music or stuff we're playing, but if you tune into the podcast, I'm gonna link it. You'll be able to hear it.
So we're just finishing up. Had to take a little break. We got some music playing in the background right now, but we're gonna phase it out off Phase 1 and get back to this. Get back to the show. Yep. So.
And we're back.
And we're back. But yeah, so I don't even remember what we were talking about before we left, but I think we were talking a little bit about. I know we talked about St. John.
Yeah, we talked about St. John. Yeah, I definitely was vibing with the St. John. I heard. I got.
Oh, Rowdy Rich. Somebody compared you to Rowdy Rich, huh?
Yeah. A couple people.
I mean, I think they should be comparing him to you since you've been doing this for a minute, but
oh, shit.
Ooh,
but he might be doing the melodic like that style a little bit longer than you.
It's a style for sure. I don't know, man. So when I get this melodic style from, I get it from like rock music, man. I listen to a lot of rock music.
Yeah, we were just singing some Fall Out Boy and stuff on that break right there.
I'm a huge, like, I used to listen to a bunch of Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, AFI,
Panic
at
the
that.
Disco.
Yeah, definitely some Panic. Like, that's I can't, like, Dance Gavin Dance. Like,
oh, you like Dance Gavin Dance?
I love Dance Gavin Dance. Like Robot with Human Hair Part 1. Like Kurt Travis and Johnny Craig both Dance Gavin Dance. It's like I like literally listen to the band. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. I'm not just capping out here on the rock music, man. I was listening to, like, the first rock song I think I ever messed with was like Nickelback. This is how you remind me.
This is how
you remind me how white I really am.
Yeah. That was the first joint.
That's some super white shit.
Oh yeah,
right?
hey, look at we didn't do this in the beginning. We forgot last time. There it is. For you guys listening, you heard the clink.
Kool-Aid,
for you guys watching, you saw us clink.
That's how we put a stopper in there, so I know like when to jump back in and fix it. You listen to Boogie at all?
Boogie, hey Boogie with Duddy?
No, just Boogie.
Just Boogie
from Compton.
Oh yeah. I've only, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I've only heard him on tracks with Nipsey Hussle, but
I like Nipsey too. Yeah, that's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
That's know. All right, so here's my question to you.
I'm in my live on that note.
This is a for real question too, because it doesn't make sense to me why rap music struggles in Arizona compared to other places.
I'm gonna go live on Facebook for this.
No, you gotta go back live.
Am I gonna get in trouble for this? Probably.
No. This is beautiful.
So my question is you got places like Atlanta, you got New York, you got even Florida, even California. Rap music is very heavy in those places.
Right.
What are the biggest things they're talking about? Women, money, guns, gang violence, whatever. All right.
In California and New York, guns is like restricted so much there too.
Yeah.
Here you can literally get all the guns that they're talking about. We have them here.
Yeah.
There is more drugs here than most other places.
Right on the Mexico border.
We're right on the Mexican border.
So
we got gang situations going on all over. And I'm not trying to glorify any of this, but I don't understand.
For the people just tuning in right now, we're talking about the difference between why music is so successful in other cities and states locally than Arizona.
And but what they're promoting that makes them popular. The only thing that I see that we don't have that they have is a booming strip club scene.
Our strip club scene is damaged because people keep dying at Jaguars, the best strip club. It's like, yeah, everybody dying over there.
And we don't have like a. It's mostly like old rock strip clubs. Which is nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, that's where it's the only other thing I can link up to. Like, our food's great.
I'm not gonna tie the music scene in with the strip club scene. I'm just gonna answer based off what I see and what I've seen in other cities and states. So I feel like in Arizona, a lot of people are too focused on trying to fit in the scene, trying to focus on trying to make it big in Arizona, and they're not just focused on making their project, the most quality it can be. So if we all had crazy quality projects, nobody would be worried about it. You know what I mean? Arizona would shine.
You think we're lacking some good producers?
I think everybody's waiting for someone. They're waiting for the monopoly man with the monocle to come up to them and be like, "I heard your little mixtape. You're good." It's like
we were talking about with like the SoundCloud lab.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
you're
looking at those other
It's
places and you're saying that they have better producers, better people
y'all?
that are putting stuff together.
Hey, what about work ethic though? You think maybe like Phoenix, since it gets so hot here, maybe people just don't have that work ethic. Which you think we're doing this indoors? You think it would be easier to do this when it's hot outside?
I listen to your music. Your music sounds as good, if not better, than a lot of these other people that are banging in areas, and it's and not even as a slight, but like, what the fuck?
Hey, I've been thinking the same thing. I don't get it either. I mean, I feel like I put it out there.
So you got to put it back on the scene. So you got to break it all down into pieces.
So for me, it's like I can't put it back on the scene. Like, if people are not listening to me and they're accepting me like an asshole,
no, that's not what I'm saying. It's not the people; it's the scene in general. So like, if Arizona's not seen as a rap scene.
I can't make that excuse. I don't care what Arizona's seen as. I'm an artist. I'm more than Arizona. You know what I mean? Like, so
you got the internet.
Yeah, you can be anywhere at any time. Just because I'm from Arizona.
So what? One hit single changes that.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make the right record. It's not about people supporting you. It's not about the scene. It's not about any of that. The scene is fine. I feel like you got to make good music. I mean, if you go artists, if you're watching this, go to Submit Hub and submit your music. They'll give you a bunch of feedback. It's just like you can't do what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm doing autotune, so it automatically gets grouped into that.
It does. It did for me in the very beginning.
Exactly, but when you listen to my music, it's different. So what I'm gonna do next project is I'm not gonna do autotune, and I'm gonna show people, listen, I do this shit.
I'm excited for that one.
And that's who you have to be. You can't let the outside circumstances depict what you're gonna do. I don't care if not one person in Arizona supported me. It's not gonna stop me. You know what I mean?
You got people in Italy listening.
Does your timing and the climate right now change or alter your beat selection for the next album if you're gonna do that?
Hey, don't change that though, because these beats on Phase 1 are fucking fat.
But they're not. Those aren't gonna what he's gonna do.
Right. For spitting.
As an artist, it doesn't matter what beat it is. It just matters how you approach it. Like, they're making rap songs on crunk beats with Little John and the East Side Boys. It just matters if the song is good. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't care. I can do anything. I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? The beats I'm gonna pick, the songs I'm gonna make, they're all gonna be fire. Like, and some people will like them, some people won't. But to me, they're all gonna be. I'm not gonna. What Phase 1 is 9 tracks, but when I was making Phase 1, it was like at least 20 songs.
How many beats did you go through? How many did you pick?
I say
all of them.
Like, even when I leave here, I'm gonna go home and listen to a zillion beats. You know what I mean? I got a producer just sent me 5 beats last night. I listened to 4 of them. I'm like, none of these work. You know what I mean? Like, not for what I'm gonna do. My next project is gonna be called Better Luck Next Time. I'm already working on this shit. It's like this is crack to me. I don't care. I'm addicted.
This is crack to me.
I'm gonna do this whether there's 20,000 people in the arena or whether it's just me and my dudes. You know what I mean? Because this is who I am. Like, everybody who's ever known me, they know what it is when they see me. It's undeniable. So I just got to get it to the right people. That's it. And so I'm gonna keep getting it to everybody until the right person comes along and is like, hey, fucking let's get it. My vision for this matches your vision for this. And if not, I'm gonna do the Hobson route. And I'm gonna do it myself. You know what I mean?
You stay busier than anyone I know, like involved in music. And there's people, and I've told you before, and shout out Chris Massive.
Chris Massive.
Probably one of my favorite like spitter, my favorite rapper out of Arizona, straight up. And not that I'm not calling him lazy or anything like that, but he doesn't market and promote and push the music the same way that you do. But he also probably doesn't have the same reach as far as like the popularity wise goes. But that's my favorite rapper out of Arizona. Period. He needs to be on that next. You said your next album. You're gonna be rapping a lot more.
We actually have a song together in the works.
Yes, please.
So that's that. But at the end of the day, no matter who you are, it doesn't matter who you are. Popularity, reach. Nobody likes me. You ask these people about me. Nobody. Ask these niggas about me. They don't like me. It's more like a respect of what I can do, you know?
And that's what I was saying, like how busy you stay. You hustle, man. You push hard, you promote hard, you market hard, and it's making waves and it's working out for you.
It's funny. It's the people that don't like me have never actually really met me. You know, they just comment.
Hey, this guy's a sweetheart. If you don't like him in person, then you're an asshole.
Guy's a nice guy.
If you don't like me, believe me, I don't
got
give
some
a
fucking
fuck.
issues.
I mean, a long, super extended fuck. I don't care because guess what? I'm not gonna do wrong by people. I'm gonna do right by all my people. I'm gonna make sure that everybody that I'm with eats, and that make sure that my message comes across that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, no matter where you're from, no matter who you are,
hey man,
no matter what people said to you. It's up to you. So that's why what I'm saying about the reach, it don't matter about your reach. It just matters how far you're willing to reach.
Right.
Like, I've had $0 and 0 cents sleeping on people's couches, couch surfing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was still doing music. I was still booking studio sessions. That's what
I'm saying is you stay active, you stay busy, you stay busy, you stay active, you keep pushing, and there's a lot of people I think that don't realize the amount of work that needs to go into that marketing and that promoting and hustling. They want to say they're hustlers, but they're not out there hustling.
Everybody want to rap, man, but nobody wants to get denied 60 times when you submit a song to people. You don't want to stand outside like I did when I was 12 to 14 years old. From sound check at 6 o'clock to 11:15 when you perform for 10 minutes and go home for like 5 years straight.
Yeah, you're there for 5 hours to put in that 10 minutes, but that's what you got to do sometimes.
I don't got no more time to play with these people. That's why I'm not super caring about the scene, not super integrated, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm focused on making good music and representing Arizona.
And pushing it out. Like you said, the different outlets you put it into is what's going to pay off in the end.
What is worrying about other grown men going to do for my career? I just don't get it. What does that benefit me?
Well, I mean, if they're paying for the music.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
That's it.
That's what it comes down to now.
Exactly.
I get paid to do this. Like, I'm trying to replace my job so my family can eat forever, like generational wealth for times to come. I'm trying to build boys.
And part of that goes into owning your shit.
Exactly. And then part of that is just like buckling down. I'm trying to build boys and girls clubs out here in Arizona when I get my shit on. I'm trying to make the city. I'm trying to reform the city. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a different thing. I can't be worried about top 10 lists and shit like that.
And I know you're true about that too, because coming out of foster care, coming out of foster homes like that, I know that definitely means something to you. Now you're not saying that shit just so people like you.
And people don't have to like me. People, they're gonna eventually get to a point where it's like, damn, okay, this kid's doing this. You know what I mean? It's like,
if you look at somebody for who they are, you either like somebody or don't.
Exactly.
But that's on you. If you're gonna be a hater, be a hater.
It's not my job to monitor who likes me or not. I don't give a fuck about that. That's beyond me. I can't control whether you like me or not. All I can do is be the best human being I can be. And shit, roll with the punches. That's right. I was given this life to inspire people. That's all I'm trying to do.
That's real as fuck.
If it offends you, you got to go look in the mirror, bro. Because I'm not trying to offend nobody.
Are we getting another album this year?
Hell yes, I'm already working on that. You're getting more than one.
Are we getting 3?
So wait, we already got 2.
Yeah.
So I got 2 albums this year.
And I think I did 2, 3. I think I did 2 last year. I mean, all my shit's recent. The only album that's old is the Cosmic Therapy. One. Yeah. And that was in 2013. Think about that. That was when most people were deciding they wanted to be a rapper. So it was like, I'm cool. I'm good. I've been making money off this shit the whole time. It's just got to get more consistent. And it has to go beyond what it is now. Because I'm at a level where I'm just like staying in the house. You
need those residual checks to be bigger.
What are you doing for what's your merch? So you got your shirts, you got hats,
so I got trucker hats, beanies.
I need one of them dad hats.
And 5 dad hats coming out. They got 2 olive green joints and 3 royal blue joints.
I need one of them olive green joints.
You need that banana yellow, bro. People be loving them.
I'm gonna go crazy on merch.
They need them weird banana hats.
All the people, shout out to all my people, Brescia, especially in Estes Park, Colorado. She's been buying all the hats. I've been having to send all my hats out of town. And this is what, like I was saying, all my shit is out of town. Like my top 10 is in Europe. My top 10 most listened. The top city is Chicago. Then it's like Seattle and then New York City, and then it's like Switzerland and Italy and France and shit. It's like, come on, Arizona. It's just I don't.
That's fucking awesome, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like why focus my attention in a place where they're like 17th on the list?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. It never did. Like right when I came out here, that was the first thing to me.
Because everybody want to sound like California out here,
but everybody from California is trying to run here.
And I don't get it, man. It's just like you gotta beat you, and that's what Arizona's starting to. I feel like there's artists out here that are starting to come into their own, like Joseph Bills, De La Prime, like
De La Prime.
Yeah, those are people I fuck with, and I like listening to their music because they have a sound. You know, they're not just regurgitating what they used to listen to back when they were kids. You know, so it's like, and Salt too. That's a guy that a lot of people don't talk about. His name is Joe Williams on Facebook. He supports the fuck out of people, man. That guy like.
That's what we need.
Yeah, he will go out of his way to support you for no fucking reason. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's
you need people like that.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that I got a little bit more stipulations to the shit I do, but it's like we have to be able to not worry about seeing so much because it's kind of getting in the way of people making good music. Stop trying to fit in and stop trying to be like everybody else. Just make the shit that comes out to you naturally. If people like it, and if they don't, then find a different audience. It's all about finding your demographic.
Yeah, and don't bother dragging people down either. Why not support? If you instead of slander someone else or drag someone else down, don't put them on your radar. Support somebody else that you do like.
Well, and that's what I was wondering is that too many people coming from out of state? Is that why it struggles? Like
no, man.
Because we have all the ingredients for the scene.
I think the out of state people help us.
But a lot of those out of state people want to shout out if they are rapping, making music. They want to shout out where they're from, not where they're at right now.
I think about it like this. Think about the biggest artists out of Arizona right now. They're probably all out of state people. Like Futuristic is from Illinois. V the Ruler is from Michigan. They're incredible artists. We can't discount them. They were out here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? We can't discount those people because they weren't born in Arizona. Right. It doesn't mean anything. They're repping Arizona.
I'm just confused that when I moved here, I was so excited because growing up in a small town in New Hampshire, like you want to live in the city, or I wanted to live in the city life. I wanted to see all this. And when I came out here, I was like, "This is it."
City.
And then you go downtown, and I was like, "Well, why is it dead? What's going on? Where is everybody?" And now I'm looking at like this should already have a huge hip hop scene.
Yeah, Arizona should be crazy. We should be Atlanta.
But it will. Everything comes in phases. Eventually, Atlanta won't be cool to be from Atlanta. It's going to be cool to be from somewhere else.
I think it will probably always be cool to be from Atlanta. But
they got a big scene.
New York was the one for the longest time, and now that shit is faded, bro. Like New York, you just look bitter now.
I think people don't realize the type of influence that politics has on a city's music scene. Like Arizona's politics is not set up for hip hop.
And I think the landscape is changing too, because back in the day, New York was big because, like, you know, when you look back at it, like these gangster rappers, they could talk about the prohibition and all the gangster shit, and, you know, Capone and like all these people from like the East that did all that shit, and so like they had like history to put on their backs and talk about in their rap.
Dope, Larry. Dope is dope.
Oh, Dobie Dope. Yep. We talking about, yeah. I love Dobie Dope. Another one that's way into anime.
Yeah, man. Anime's life, man. If you don't like anime, you probably just haven't watched the right anime yet. Just to keep.
No, hey, I am a fan of some anime. You just
gotta find the right.
I ain't deep in the anime game, but I'm a fan of some anime. Remember when you're talking about one of your tattoos? I was like, you need to get Bulma, and you're like, oh shit.
Yo, I do need to get Bulma.
I told you that on your Facebook post, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I think the landscape is changing for sure. Like I think Arizona, I think it's gonna have a bigger scene soon. Shout out to my cousin too,
Larry. Too Cold. Go fuck with him in Classified Nation. They've been working for a long time.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Casey Waterman. He did all these sketches behind you.
Hey.
Yeah,
he's got all that shit set up behind you.
And shout out to Sincerely Collins as well.
No shit.
You know what I'm saying? All my guys, Dre, Cyrus, you know what I'm saying, Jules, everybody that's been rocking from the very beginning.
Yeah, shout out to the whole YouTube viewership, Spotify, Apple, everybody that takes the time to listen to us on Facebook and shares all these, you know, we really appreciate it because we're just a bunch of guys chilling in a fucking room.
Yeah, y'all missed the part where I was talking about Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco. Y'all missed that shit. But those, just know y'all got to go catch this whole podcast. We talk about some crazy shit. It was dope.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do some more of this. This one's probably one of my favorites so far. I've had the most fun. Plus, I feel like we have room. Like
this is a good setup. Like, this is a better setup.
I can show off my shoes and shit.
I mean, you know,
stick
the biggest guy back here in the corner, you know. But you know,
we
I'll have a little more room
to Hulk smash back there, bro. In case you decide to, I just put like like when you get on a ride at the roller coaster, they put the fucking bar in front of you. That's why I put that there.
Yeah.
I was like,
so hold me back a little.
Move.
Anything else though? Any more questions? I want to answer some more shit because there's people on the live now.
Let's see. Well, I mean, who was growing up? Who was like the top 3 rappers that to you were like, I got to do that. I want to be a rapper.
Top 3 rappers for me: 50 Cent, Eminem. Those two were definitely super huge in the Nas. I remember I was riding bikes with my cousin. And we were riding through this neighborhood, and we were listening to Nas' Street Disciple album, and it was a song. Wow. It was like The Makings of a Perfect Bitch or something. It was a song by Nas on the Street Disciple album, and he was just chopping so hard. I stopped my bike, and I stopped in like mid ride, and I fell over, and I broke the Discman, and I was, and like my cousin was like, "What the hell? What's wrong with you?" We just clowned me for the rest of the day, but that's how like. It synced in I was with Nas, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo.
From that storytelling.
Yeah, I was just like sitting there listening, and I forgot to ride my bike. You feel me? So I was like, I always knew, dog. I already knew. I was like, yep, I'm about to do this.
I love that shit when something gives you the chills.
Yeah.
Like you start listening to something and you're like, oh my God.
It was just like,
and you get the chills, like you almost want to like start welling up. You almost start tearing up. You're
I still get goosebumps
when I hear some shit at fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
I get the goosebumps still when I hear some shit because I just know. Or like if I hear a beat or something that I know I got to freestyle on or I got to get like the top of my head starts to sweat and I get a little pool up on the top of my head and I know like it's time for me to destroy this beat.
Anybody that's ever been in a freestyle session with me, they know the look, yo, and you know I'm about to roast it all because I feel like from a kid, that's what I always had to do. People were always like, rap, man, rap. You know what I mean? Like, go. And I would always just go. And it was just like, tapped into like the infinite. I call it being tapped into the infinite well of knowledge. Like words and lyrics just come. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what nobody says.
It's the flow state.
Freestyle with me, and I'll show you.
That's that flow state. You just get in it and you just keep going.
You know, and also I'm gonna let people know there's definitely gonna be a lot of music videos coming soon. I also just submitted a bunch of music to like a bunch of blogs, labels, and playlists. So you're gonna see a lot of shit like that happening. So hopefully, cross your fingers. Something
just always staying the busiest, always doing the most out here.
I mean, honestly, as an artist or even as a person in life, if you're trying to pursue something, no matter what it is, you got to have a million avenues in order to sustain you. You know what I mean? It's like this isn't just something that it's not like I'm just rapping and chilling back. No, I'm rapping. I'm trying to get my music in movies. I'm trying to get my music in commercials, shows. I'm trying to get this shit. Like I just did a little contract with this group called One Mobile, and they do like ringback tones. People in different countries are going to be using my music as ringback tones because my top 10.
You're talking about like the ring back, like when you call someone
when
what you
somebody,
hear,
like in like Switzerland or Italy or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'll get a check in the mail randomly for shit like that. And you just got to keep like, I'll be on go to Submit Hub, go to songtrader.com. There's soundbetter.com. There's so many websites for artists where you can get your music. Man, I actually teach a class on this shit because it's just like, if this is what you want to do, you're not gonna let anything stop you from doing it. You know what I mean? You're gonna get on the internet. You're gonna go to seminars. You're gonna, you know what I mean? There's no excuses, man. And always people say, oh well, this person's life is like this, bro. You don't want to know what my life was like. You don't want to know what my life was like, dog. And I make it work because it's not about what my life is like. It's about what it's like right now, what I can do right now, and what's in front of me, what's in my reach, and that's. You know what I'm saying?
All that shit behind you is an excuse.
It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cool, that happened. What are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? It's not about getting punched in the face. Yeah, it's about getting back up.
You should start teaching a class. Bro. Start doing a little seminar.
Hey, man.
Motivational.
The first time I saw a guy,
not a motivational speaker, but like give him motivation.
I wanted to do that for a long time.
Yeah, I got it.
First time I saw somebody do it, and I was like, that's important.
You know?
And there's power.
A person that really got me on this shit was Christian Pfeiffer. No matter what nobody says about that dude can light a fire under your ass. You know what I mean? Like, and
that's
I
important.
I could do that shit too. I mean, and it's important, especially in our community where people are growing up with no direction. It's like, yo, go up. You got no direction? Go up. It's easy.
Yeah, there's one direction that we all should be going.
Go up.
And like I tell everybody all the time, look, it doesn't have to be 100% all at once. If you do a little bit every day and you constantly do it and you blink your eyes, 6 months is going to go by and you're going to have so much accumulated. Like we told each other, and I told myself when I started doing these podcasts, I'm going to do it every week. It is what it is, whether they're great or they suck. You got to do them every single time. And I'm over 20 of them now. And
this is episode
and I
21.
Look back and I have catalog now, and that's important. And
that's how I feel about actual
same
factuals.
thing with the gym.
Again, shout out my actual factual guys.
And with your music
I'm trying
too.
to make an appearance on that show at some point.
You,
so please, you tell me what we want to talk about, man. I'll do the homework.
That's the hip hop heads right there.
I'm in. You let me know. I'm coming in with all the everything. I got what you want to talk about.
Let's get it.
So I just appreciate everybody coming out. What do we want to end on? We got.
Can I pick a song to close out on?
Yeah, pick a song to close out on, y'all. I wish you guys would.
This one right here.
You guys are gonna be able to watch this full podcast. It's legit. This it's inspirational as fuck.
Yeah, and shout out to Keegan doing all the work, all the editing, all the setup, all the everything on this bitch.
Hey, thanks for bringing somebody in.
It's the perfect song to end on. Shout out my boy Reno Rich.
Shout out Reno. I love that kid.
Shout out to Reno. I think
that's
Reno
one of my
just
boys.
Moved actually.
Hey, did he move or is he just going to Houston?
I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
I hope he didn't move. He didn't move. Right here is Reno.
I've been drinking too much tonight. I know I'm not so focused. I try.
Let's get a young cheers for the live, y'all. And that's where I'm gonna end it off, y'all.
Up in the morning, I gotta grind, yeah. I'm still alive, I feel the vibe, take that as a sign, yeah. All this money in my way, too hard to decline, yeah. Had to struggle for the pay.
Instagram Live is trash, but Facebook Live was popping.
Call my name, they gon' call my name. Run the game, go for broke, yeah, it's all the same. I'm just coming, you ain't safe.
This video right here.
Back on the waist, I need a match in the lake. From a family estate.
I'm gonna push this shit. And honestly, at the end, we just started going ham.
Not wanna play while they press me wine, yeah. I'm pressing the line, yeah. Murdering tracks is a crime, yeah. And I'm blinded by the light, but it's just fire for the fire. So these liars not gon' lie.
I have some of the setup.
Yeah, no. This is perfect.
You guys want to shoot a pod here?
I wanna shoot my own podcast. I'm gonna make a sports podcast. I'm really into sports.
Dude.
It's gonna be called Make Your Point Podcast, and I need a location.
Isn't it start out with Game Point on the intro for everyone?
Ooh, that's actually a good idea. That's fire.